Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abby and I make lifestyle and travel videos here on my channel. For those of you that are in my Facebook group, Mickey with Littles, which I will link down below, I asked you earlier this weekend what kind of topics you wanted to know about for my Beginner's Guide to Disney series. There were a couple topics that a lot of you were very interested in, and one of them, which actually won the poll, was character dining. So today I thought I would talk to you about your options when it comes to these dining experiences. So character dining is offered across a lot of the different Disney resorts. They have them at all the parks around the world. And it's when you go to a restaurant, whether it's at a hotel or in a park, and there are characters that come to your table throughout your meal. These characters will play with your kids, they'll take pictures, and, hugs, autographs, all that fun stuff that you would do if you were waiting in line for a character in the parks. So basically the idea is that you don't have to wait in line to meet these characters because they're coming around to your table. Today I'm going to be concentrating on the Walt Disney World character dining. That's what I have the most experience with, so I feel like that's where I can offer the most advice. So before I go into the specific restaurant options that you have, I do want to point out one thing. So if you do want to take part in character dining experiences, then you want to make sure that you and your travel agent are ready at the 180-day mark before your trip, or that as soon as you book your trip, you're ready to make those reservations. They fill up fast. You just open up the app and you'll see right on the front page it says under My Plans, Reserve Dining. And then it'll ask you what restaurant you're interested in, or you can just pick a date and time and it'll tell you what's available. The results that come up may not all be character dining, so that is something to keep in mind when you are making reservations on the app. I'm going to be doing an entire video on making advanced dining reservations, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But for the sake of this video, just know that you can make them on the app or on the Disney website. So character dining is covered under the Disney dining plan and the deluxe Disney dining plan. It is not covered under the quick service dining plan. That is one thing to keep in mind. Most of them are 1 credit. If they are 2, I will tell you when I talk about the restaurant. When you are on the website or on the app and you're looking at the menu or the main page of the restaurant, it'll tell you how many credits it is and it'll show you what they usually serve. The menus that they show you are not guarantees. They do change seasonally and they do change just based on, what's going on. So be prepared for some last minute changes to the menus. They are usually pretty accurate on the app and the website though. So I'm just going to get right into your options for character dining. And I'm going to insert some pictures if I have them from different restaurants so that you can see the kind of interactions and such that you can expect. Please keep in mind that the characters that I tell you I saw there does not mean that that's going to be the characters that you see there. The characters are, subject to change based on Mickey's availability or whether Lilo and Stitch have some experiments to catch. So just keep that in mind. Don't get your hopes too high that you'll see the characters that we saw or that are advertised to be there. So your first option is 1900 Park Fair. 1900 Park Fair is located at Disney's Grand Floridian. So at 1900 Park Fair, for breakfast we met Tigger, Pooh, Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland, and Mary Poppins. The character interactions there we found to be great. They were very playful. The characters that were supposed to be playful were playful. Mary Poppins was more serious, but in a very practically perfect in every way sort of way. So they do try to stick to how the character is supposed to act. So at dinner we met Cinderella, Prince Charming, Lady Tremaine, and the Wicked Stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella. So Lady Tremaine was very cold, not she was the wicked stepmother, so she wasn't warm and fuzzy. She was more serious and had a harder look on her face. So they do stay in character. The Wicked Stepsisters were fawning over my brother and fighting over who got to keep him. Drizella was kind enough to share him with Anastasia because she realized that he is broke because he's 16. So she no longer wanted him after she found that out. So overall, we've had really great character interactions there. The food was really good. I will say I do prefer their dinner over their breakfast. The dinner food stuck out a lot more to us in terms of variety and, you know, like options, as opposed to breakfast, where breakfast is like your typical Disney character breakfast food. So you've got like assorted meats and pancakes and waffles and eggs and French toast usually, and then like pastries and stuff. So a lot of the breakfasts do have that same sort of menu on the buffet. Dinner, they can vary a lot more. So one thing that 1900 Park Fair is known for is their strawberry soup. It is a cold soup. Everybody raves about this strawberry soup. It's their favorite thing on the buffet. People go just for that. So everyone at our table who tried it did really enjoy it. So if you are going to 1900 Park Fair, make sure you check that out. I don't remember if it was there for breakfast or not. At dinner, they also had a PhotoPass photographer like toward the back of the restaurant where you could take a picture with Cinderella's glass slipper. They did not offer that sort of picture opportunity when I was there for breakfast, but I was there about a year and a half ago for breakfast, so that could have changed by now. I'll insert a picture just so you can see the PhotoPass photographer opportunity that we did have. When you are taking part in character dining, there are not usually more than one PhotoPass photographer. So sometimes they'll have one at the front with a specific character that you get that PhotoPass photographer to take your picture with that character. But the other characters just kind of roam on their own with their character attendants. So you do have to take your own pictures, or their character attendant will oftentimes help if you ask nicely. So don't expect the PhotoPass photographers to be with every single character, because they aren't. If you are going to be going to an early dinner at 1900 Park Fair, somewhere around 3 and 3:30, Prince Charming and Cinderella come down the grand staircase at Grand Floridian. I don't know if there's a fancy name for it, but you know, it's the grand one. They come down the stairs and will like waltz with each other and sometimes with the kids. So that is a fun experience if you need a break from Magic Kingdom, or if you are going to be having an early dinner there. And make sure to explore the lobby. They have some cute little shops. They have, you know, lots of stuff to do. I don't want to make this video super long, so I'm not going to go into the different stores. But walk around. It's beautiful. The next character dining option that you have is Accra Shoes. That is located in Epcot in the Norway Pavilion of the World Showcase. I've eaten here a lot, many times. I remember eating there when I was little, and I've eaten there on the last couple of trips. I really enjoy it. I am Norwegian, so I do find that I'm drawn to, you know, just the architecture, and I just think it's beautiful. If you are coming through the World Showcase and Mexico's on your left, then you want to pass Mexico. Norway is the next country. So Norway has two little like cul-de-sac type of things. And the first one that you'll pass if you're coming from Mexico is where Anna and Elsa meet. But if you keep going, there's a second one, and that's where Frozen Ever After is, and also where Accra Shoes is. Accra Shoes is like this stone building. It kind of looks like a castle, but like a small castle. It's very pretty. At Accra Shoes, between 2 meals on different trips, I've met Jasmine, Ariel, Cinderella, Belle. Belle is usually the one that's at the front with the PhotoPass photographer. Aurora, and Snow White. And then I've heard Mary Poppins also meets there on occasion if some princess is busy. So, that's the crowd you can think you might be seeing. Again, nothing's guaranteed. The food here, you do need to be careful because the menu is a little specific. So kids really can eat anywhere. They have like a pretty standard kids menu at all of these restaurants. And the buffets also have kid-friendly offerings. There's usually mac and cheese, chicken fingers, and, you know, tater tots, that kind of thing. Hot dogs. So it's the adults in your party that you need to be more concerned about. I am a picky eater, and I have enjoyed Accra Shoes. All character dining is pre-priced, so the amount that you pay is the same whether you have the super fancy food or you order the kids' food. So there's no difference there. But I have found each time that I've gone to Accra Shoes that even as a picky eater, there's plenty for me to eat. The meal at Accra Shoes comes with the unlimited appetizer bar, where they have some traditional Norwegian foods and meats and such, and then they also have salad and fruit and that kind of thing. And then you order off a menu for the main course, and for the dessert they bring you a sampler to share among your table. So they brought us a couple because we were 10 people last time. Breakfast is more traditional breakfast foods. They have the same appetizer bar from what I understand, and then the meal is like eggs and omelets and that kind of thing, but still you're ordering off that menu. They also do a princess parade here, or I think they call it the Royal Princess Procession. I'll insert some footage here so you can see what I'm talking about. But all the princes and princesses are invited to parade around the restaurant with all the princesses leading the way. Super cute. The kids always really enjoy it, and then they return to their table with their families. The next option that you have is Cape May Cafe, which is at Disney's Beach Club Resort. This one you can expect to see members of the Fab Five, which, for those of you that don't know, the Fab Five include Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, and Pluto. So for sake of not making this video super long, most of the breakfasts and dinners offer pretty similar menus. For specifics, you can consult the My Disney Experience app or website, as I mentioned before. But this is a great option if you are staying at one of the Epcot resorts, or if you're going to Epcot that park day, because they are within walking distance of the World Showcase entrance, which is called International Gateway. So this would be a great option for you if you are staying at those resorts. It is a little harder to get to if you are staying at one of the farther resorts from Epcot. You would have to take an Uber or a Lyft or drive yourself, you know, that sort of thing. Or you could go in through Epcot and out to, if you go to the right in the World Showcase toward Canada and the UK. After the UK, before France, there is a like a pathway, and that takes you to International Gateway, which is the back entrance of Epcot. It's mainly meant for like the people that are staying at Boardwalk, Yacht, and Beach Club, but it's open to anyone. So you can go through that if you are planning to go to Cape May Cafe. Chef Mickey's is a super popular option. It's offered at Disney's Contemporary Resort. So if you do want to do one of the monorail resort hotels, you would take a bus to Magic Kingdom from your Disney resort and then hop on the monorail, which will take you to the Contemporary, Polynesian, or Grand Floridian. So, Chef Mickey's, we did it on, I've done it since I was a kid. We always do it every trip. But we just went in June, and when we were there, we met Mickey, Goofy, Pluto, and Minnie, and Donald. Yeah. Here they do like a napkin rally thing where everyone swings their napkins above their head and dance, and the characters dance, and it's cute. The food here gets a lot of mixed reviews. I like it. We went for brunch, so we got breakfast and lunch food. They are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we had a lot of the same foods that you're gonna find at really all of the character dining. It is themed very like retro, which is ironic because the hotel is called the Contemporary, but the Contemporary was contemporary at the time that it was built, but you know, they're working on it. So the theming is very retro, and the characters are dressed in their chef's costumes, and everyone looks super cute. Our table in June, we did have a view of Cinderellas Castle, which was super magical. It was actually the first meal that we did, and we met up with the rest of our party. We'd already been there for a few days, but it was the first meal that we did as a whole family. And Harper came over to talk to me and her sister Avery, who I was sitting next to, and we all realized that we could see the castle because we had really just sat down. And we're like, look Harper, look Avery, there's the castle. And Harper went over to my aunt and she said, thank you, Mommy, for bringing me here. And it was just so sweet and cute. So you won't necessarily have a castle view as your table, but we were lucky enough to have that. And it just created some magic right off the bat. Your next option, and one of the most popular options, is going to be Cinderella's Royal Table. This is the holy grail of Disney restaurants. You eat in Cinderella's castle. You walk in the opening of the castle, whether from the front or the back, and you'll see like the mosaic of Cinderella's story and fairy tale. And then you check in there and they take you up toward the top of the castle. If you're standing behind the castle and you look up, there's like these big stained glass windows. That's where the restaurant is. So it's not all the way at the top, but it's like probably halfway up, I would say. This is another one of the restaurants where it's a menu restaurant. So like, I don't know how else to describe it. You order off a menu. They have the appetizer choice, the entree choice, and then you do choose a dessert here, so you don't have the sampler like you do at Accra Shoes. I think most of us ordered different things when we were there in June. We went for lunch and I found the food to be excellent. Everyone was pleasantly surprised because, you know, you don't always hear great things about Disney food, but I don't know, we all liked everywhere we ate. Character-wise, you can expect to see the princesses. The PhotoPass photographer will meet you at the bottom, like at the front when you first walk in, with Cinderella. And you can take pictures of Cinderella there. And then once you go up, you'll see the rest of the princesses. We saw Jasmine, Ariel, Snow White, and Aurora, I want to say, when we were there in June. But the last time I was there, I actually saw Rapunzel also. So, you know, that just shows you, depending on the day, you're going to get different characters. If you do lunch or dinner there, I both times have eaten the Clock Strikes Midnight, I believe it's called, for dessert. It's like a chocolate something, flourless chocolate cake or something like that. But it's delicious. Highly recommend. For breakfast, again, typical breakfast food. And one thing to note about the character dining is it is cheaper at breakfast, but you are going to get that like more standard food. At lunch, they had a seafood dish, steak, chicken, so you have a lot more options if you go later in the day at lunch or dinner. Your next character dining option is the Crystal Palace, which is also located in Magic Kingdom. If you are walking down Main Street and you see the hub in front of the castle where the patches of grass are, the Crystal Palace is off to the left. It's like a big dome on top that looks like windows and like a greenhouse. Crystal Palace offers dining with Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore. I have eaten here many times for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I've done all the meals there. I will say breakfast is probably my favorite because they have Pooh's Puffed French Toast, which is absolutely delicious. I found a like copycat recipe and also like tweaked it a little bit, so I'll insert a picture of that here if you're interested in that, but it's delicious. Other than that, you know, typical breakfast food. The character interaction here is usually really great. One other thing that we have kind of discovered as we've gone on our different trips is you can book a later dinner. So if the fireworks are at 9 o'clock, we would book at like 7:45 for dinner, which is really late if you have kids, but if your kids are older or if you are traveling with all adults, then 7:45 kind of gives you enough time to get in and out before the fireworks. Or if you get a table by the windows, then they actually pipe the music through the sound system in the restaurant so that everyone can watch the fireworks. So if you get a window seat, then like you can stay and watch the fireworks from your table. But you also have enough time to leave and find a spot if you were not by the window and couldn't see. So that's just a little insider tip for you. The next option that I want to tell you about is Garden Grill. This is located in Epcot in the Soarin' building. It's called The Land, but it's where Soarin' is. And the restaurant actually rotates. So it reminds me of like how Carousel of Progress rotates, if you know what I'm talking about. The whole restaurant goes in like a circle, and you actually get to see the Living with the Land greenhouse. So if you've been on Living with the Land, then you know at the end of the ride they take you through where Disney grows a lot of their produce. So you actually get to see that from this restaurant. The characters here are Chip, Dale, Mickey, and Pluto usually, and they are dressed in their farmer's attire, so that's cute. One of the perks about all these different Fab 5 dining experiences is that they all have different outfits, which are super cute. So I don't know, if you're into that, then you might want to do like many Fab 5 meals. But if not, just, you know, keep that in mind. Garden Grill is served family style, so it's brought to you, but it's all you can eat. So it's like fried chicken, mashed potatoes, baked beans, you know, kind of like what you'd eat at the family barbecue. It gets really good reviews. We are going to be doing this one in October or January. We haven't decided yet. They also get really good reviews if you have a gluten allergy like I do. So we are going to be trying it for that specific purpose. We did eat there when I was little, but it doesn't stick out as a memory to me. But it's very popular. The next option that you have is Hollywood and Vine. This one is located at Hollywood Studios. Here, there are two sets of characters that you can meet. So if you go for breakfast, it's Disney Junior friends. So it's Sophia the First, Doc McStuffins, and Jake and the Neverland Pirates usually. If you go later in the day, so for like a late lunch, early dinner, you're going to meet Minnie and friends in their seasonal attire. So that's like Daisy, Donald, Goofy, Pluto. And then for Halloween, they'll be in their costumes, or Christmas, they'll be in their Santa. I think Goofy dresses up in a Santa suit, but they wear seasonal outfits. So that's a really cute option that you have. They also here offer the Fantasmic Dining package, which is covered on the Disney Dining Plan. So if you are on the dining plan, I would encourage you to book it through the Fantasmic link instead of through Hollywood and Vine, so that you get reserved seating for Fantasmic. That's a whole nother topic for another day. So if you have questions about that, I would be happy to help you. Just let me know. The next option that you have is Ohana. This one is tricky because they only have characters at breakfast. They offer breakfast and dinner here, but only breakfast has characters. So if you show up at dinner, do not expect to see these characters. The characters at breakfast are Lilo, Stitch, Mickey, and Chip and Dale usually. So they offer more Hawaiian influences of food. I love the food at anywhere at Polynesian. We did eat there for dinner, and it was absolutely delicious. But like I said, there weren't characters, and we knew that going in. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If character dining is important to you, this is when you want to hit at breakfast. And it is one of the ones on the monorail loop, so it is super easy to get to from Magic Kingdom. In terms of Hawaiian food, they have like, everything has a sort of pineapple-y, sweet little kick to it. So if you like that kind of flavors, then you're gonna really enjoy the food here. It's a lot different from the other restaurants where it's like standard American breakfast and dinner. We have two more. Okay, so the next one is Trattoria Al Forno. And this one, again, they only offer characters at breakfast. This one just came up in April of 2017, I want to say. It takes place at Disney's Boardwalk Inn Resort, and that in itself is just a fun place to go. But the characters here are usually Ariel, Prince Eric, Rapunzel, and Flynn. I have heard that when one of the princes, because it's usually the princes that don't show up, if one of the princes doesn't show up, I've heard Merida joins the party. So, I love Merida. So I'd be happy either way. But it is a really cool opportunity to get to meet some of those princesses and their princes, because princes don't really meet in the parks unless it's like some rare event. I've done this breakfast twice, and it's not my favorite, I will say. The food is just okay to me. They have eggs, pancakes. The pancakes are like super thick, which is just not my kind of pancake, but they're like honestly like this thick, which is ridiculous. And then they have like this strawberry stuff on it, and yeah, just not my cup of tea. And the appetizer, this is not a buffet, it's like an order off the menu. And the appetizer is like a yogurt parfait, like stuff you could really get at a quick service restaurant. So the food here is not that impressive to me. And the character interactions are great, but the pictures that I've taken here aren't great, because this restaurant was not built to be a character meal. This restaurant's been around for a long time, and it's kind of dark in there, and the tables are pretty close together because they want to have as many people be able to get in as possible, since it is super popular and a lot of people really like it, but it's just not my favorite. That meal is called the Bon Voyage Breakfast, so that's what's going to show up in your My Disney Experience app if you do book this. Like I said, a lot of people do really enjoy this, so just because I didn't find it something that is like a must-do for me does not mean that you won't like it. The last big restaurant in terms of character dining is Tusker House, and that is at Animal Kingdom in Africa over by the Festival of the Lion King show. So here the food actually has a lot more of an African touch. So if you've ever eaten at Boma at Animal Kingdom Lodge, it's going to be similar flavors to that, which as a picky eater, when I ate at Boma, I was nervous. I was like, I'm not going to like anything. It was absolutely delicious though. The spices are like different than what we're used to eating, but very good. So the food here, they have like American food, and they also have the stuff with the African touches. The characters are going to be members of the Fab Five in their safari attire. This is a super popular option that people really love. So it is on my to-do list. 3 more things that I want to touch on super quickly. At Grand Floridian, they offer 2 tea sessions, and the first one is called Perfectly Princess Tea. This is a tea party with Aurora, and it is not covered under the Disney dining plan. It is like a pay in advance sort of thing, and it is for kids. This tea party and the Wonderland Tea Party, which is Alice in Wonderland themed, are really just for kids. Like, this is not a place that you go if you don't have little ones. In fact, the Alice in Wonderland one, you can't like be an adult. So those are options for maybe an older princess that, you know, you might want to do. But it's not really character dining. They get like finger sandwiches and pastries and stuff like that. It's not really a full meal like you would think other character meals are. And the other option that you do have at Be Our Guest for dinner, which is 2 credits, it's a signature dining. This is not considered character dining, but the Beast does typically meet with the dinner guests. So the Beast from Beauty and the Beast is in the library most nights and will take pictures with you. He does not sign autographs, but he will take pictures. All of these meals that I told you about, except for the tea parties, Be Our Guest, and Cinderella's Royal Table, they are all 1 credit on the Disney dining plan. Be Our Guest and Cinderella's Royal Table are 2 credits. And then the tea parties are not covered on the Disney dining plan. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are planning to do these experiences. As always, you can also pay out of pocket for all of these experiences. They vary in price depending on the meal, the location, where you are, and time of year. So keep that in mind when you are making your plans. If you want help determining which character dining is right for you, leave me a message below, or you can email me, which my email is always in the description bar down below, and I would be happy to work with you. I am a travel agent with Looking Glass Travel, and we do a lot of Disney. My main business is Disney vacations. So if you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button down below. I'll be back to talk to you guys about more Disney topics in the next couple days. Talk to you guys later. Bye.